Hey guys, it's Genevieve. So, pheasants, right? They're orange, yellow, a little bit of blue, big long tails. Everybody knows what a pheasant looks like. But a customer gave me a black one. Never even seen a black one before. This will be a real challenge for me. I've never seen one, but I've certainly never mounted one either. I've worked with lots of pheasants. I worked as an apprentice last year, and this is my first official year as a taxidermist. But I have quite a bit of experience with birds and pheasants, but I've never actually mounted a black one before, and I'm already noticing a little bit of difference between the colors that are on the body and the feet of a black pheasant compared to a normal pheasant. So the first thing that I like to do with pheasants, even if they don't have a nice long tail like this guy doesn't have, is I actually remove the tail. So I'm going to come in up here and I'm going to just cut all the way around real careful, just take all these feathers out. And that way it just gets them out of the way so it's less flopping around all over the place. Alrighty, so I have the tail here, and these are the muscles and the glands, the oil glands right here. But I wanted to show you, he's got some pin feathers, and these are a real pain in the neck because they are very delicate. So I am very glad that I ended up taking the tail off, even though it's this short, because these feathers are going to break off very easily if I'm not careful. But now that I'm looking at it, it's not that bad. They're all torn up, and these ones are broken, so I'll probably end up removing those. But this feather here, it's around the sides of the tail. The big long ones are missing. But the little ones on the sides are all really nice. So I think I'll be able to straighten them back out kind of like that and somehow work it all back together. But I'm pretty optimistic that it'll be pretty good. All the fluffy feathers underneath are all there. And of course all the back feathers are good still. So I think this guy will turn out pretty good. So the forms that I buy come in 4 sizes, for pheasants at least, and you can see this is a very large pheasant, at least for my area. Normally they do not get any bigger than this, and this is even kind of exceptional for one in my area. Most of the time they are a bit smaller. This is a number 1 form, and this is a number 4. So you can see there's a very significant difference between the two. And of course there's number 2 and number 3 in between these. And all pheasants in my area fall into one of these 4 groups. However, most of the time they are either a 1 or a 2. So according to their weight and a couple of measurements, you know, like the circumference and the length of the form, that's how I know what form to order for a pheasant, because they are each bird is very unique to the next one. But chuckers, once they are mature, like these ones that I have, they're really only one size. And they're still much smaller than a pheasant, but you can be pretty comfortable just ordering a standard chucker form. You probably aren't going to need to alter it at all. You can add extra stuffing to it if you need to, but generally speaking, all chuckers are about the same size. This here was my grandfather's hammer, and it is perfect for taxidermy. As you can see, I'm putting in the leg wires right now, so I've drilled it all the way through the body, and I bend a little hook in it, and I'm just gonna tap it in so it's flat against the body, and you can see it sucked it right down in there, and this leg ain't going nowhere now. Another quick close-up. This wire I just drilled in here, as you can see, all the way through. The actual leg is going to be attached to this part. This is the bottom of the body down here, and then the neck will go up through here, head will be up here somewhere. Tail goes down over there, but this is the right leg, and I bend a hook in it, push it or pull it, kind of doing it left-handed here, but I just pull it right down close to the body. Perfect. All done. Just kidding. A little bit more work to do, but that's the basic idea. Alright, so you can see the bird is kind of taking shape. He'll be standing here like this, probably with one leg forward or something like that, like he's walking. But he'll be like this. You know, you can see his little legs there and his head, and starting to look like a bird, finally. Alrighty, so this sad little guy has gotten a bath, and he does not look very much like a pheasant right now. Skinny little neck. But yep, he is all washed up. He's got some shine coming back into his feathers now. He has been completely fleshed. He's all nice and cleaned out on the inside here. But now it is time for him to get dried and fluffed up real good in the tumbler, which I've got full of corncob grit in there. Very sad looking, poor little bird. Look at nice and pretty though. Real quick here. And I fill the whole body up with this corncob grit here, so that as it's tumbling and rolling, the inside is drying too, because it's full of this real dry corncob grit. And a lot of people ask why I don't use sawdust, and that's just because it tends to clump, and it also molds very quickly in my experience. Some people have used it and things have turned out fine, but this works best for me, and I've never had any issues with it. I even put it down in the mouth too. I've removed the tongue because you don't want that staying in there. But the whole body, inside the wings, the legs, everything's getting full of this stuff. After I finished his dish soap bath, I patted him dry with paper towels just to get the drying started a little bit. But other than that, kind of just throw him in there. Close her up. And turn her on. Check for leaks as it's going around. Don't see any, that's good. It's the first time that I'm using this tumbler in my new shop, so good to see it's still in working condition. And I will see you in a half an hour when he is all dry. Alright, let's see what we got here. I'll wait for it to go around again. A little dusty tonight. Yes, he is. Very nice. Barely lost any feathers during this whole thing, actually. On to the next step, I gotta shake out all this corncob grit from out of here. Like you can see, it just falls right out. And then on to mounting, on to the fun part. Alrighty, first things first, I'm just kind of examining how long his neck is, and I add a little bit of foam to the wire. And next, I'm actually filling the real skull of this bird with plastiline. It's a waxy substance. And I am just kind of shaping it to the original shape of the bird's head. I am also adding glass eyes. And pheasant eyes are normally 10 millimeters in size and some kind of an orange color. Packing them full with a little bit more plastiline now. Just kind of smoothing everything out. Shaping it some more. Then I stuff the body down into the feathers. I insert the leg wires down alongside the bones and poke them out through the ends of the feet. You can also do this down through the toes if you need a more complicated pose with the foot, but this one's just standing, so it goes through the pad of the foot in the middle. And here you can see me pulling it out through and pushing the legs down against the body. Next, I stuff the breast feathers full of cotton and also the wings as well. And now I begin to sew, starting at the front of the breast, working my way backwards, and carefully sorting those feathers out as I move back. I'm using a black thread on this one because he has a dark underbelly. This is my favorite part of mounting any kind of an animal. It's just so satisfying watching everything come together again.
Then I just work the legs down just a little bit more to give myself a bit more working room and get those thighs really tight against the body. Marking the base and drilling the holes to where the leg wires go, pounding them down through. Then I turn him upside down and bend the wires to anchor him in place. I pin the wings against the body now here, and I actually leave those pins in the bird. I just pound them in nice and flat and sort the feathers over top so you don't see them. I tape the wings just to hold the feathers in place and begin to sort all the feathers out to make them nice and smooth. And here he is, looking nice. Love how shiny it turned out. That green is just gorgeous. And he did end up losing a bit of feathers, but I was able to cover up any that he was missing with other ones nearby.
This is the melanistic pheasant that I'm working on right now, and he was actually a #1. And you can see that the feathers do take up most of the volume of the bird. The actual form is very small, but you can see, generally speaking, you can tell by eyeing them how big they are going to be roughly. And you can't really tell unless they skin them. The actual carcass of the bird will look exactly like this.
I want to thank you guys very much for watching. This little guy was a challenge, but he was so worth it. He turned out so nice in the end. And I am really proud of myself for sticking through it with this guy, because as you can see, he turned out just beautiful. And it was such an honor to work with such a rare specimen like this one. And many thanks to the hunter who entrusted him with me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.